Hey there, AFTERBUZZers. Welcome back to the Quantico After Show. We're here to break down and discuss the season finale. And is this the best Quantico After Show out there? Well, yes, it is. See you in a sec.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Woo! Did I go too far with that pun this time? That's the question.
No, that's the point of a pun.
Was it really a pun? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I had a hard job to do today to fit in that one. The title of the episode is Yes.
Yes. Yes.
My name is Isaac Johnson. Follow me on Twitter, please, at Isaac Johnson, or Instagram, the Isaac Johnson. And I'm joined by the fairest lady in all the AFTERBUZZ land, Andy Fasano.
Thank you. Hey guys, I'm so excited. I can't believe this is the last one of the season.
Yeah, that's it. That's where the finale is.
Yes. You guys can follow me at Andy Fasano, and thank you so much for commenting on YouTube. We'll get to those in a little bit, and make sure to always hashtag us at Quantico.
ABTV
Quantico. That's what it is. You guys, I'm just so fried after that episode. I'm like, yes, like this was one of my favorite. I know you're gonna ask me. This is one of my favorite episodes. Obviously, the finale should be, but sometimes they're a little disappointing, especially when you don't know where they're gonna go or how much they're gonna reveal. And I enjoy, even if there's gonna be another season, when the writers give nod to the audience and the fans and give us what we want. And I think that Quantico did that. So thank you.
All right.
Super excited about this episode.
Fired up. So you hate it, is what you're saying.
I'm going to say it this whole episode. Yes. Fired up.
Yeah, fired up. I also enjoyed it. I like Liam obviously getting his comeuppance. We'll talk about all that. I also like them taking it back to Quantico, where it all began. I thought that was pretty cool. And also like to see a couple people still alive.
Yes.
Apparently Natalie can't live, but Miranda can survive gunfire, and Will can survive some sort of nuclear...
Totally.
Poisoning. I don't know exactly what it is because I'm not a scientist. You may not know that. But yeah, I really like the episode too. I like a lot of the finality of it. And then also, obviously, we have like, will she, won't she? We'll talk about it all right now.
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing I want to get out of the way is Alex and Ryan drama. I mean, this has been our whole season. I suppose I can't be surprised that it happened at the very last episode.
No.
We kind of speculated, do they go away for the 2 weeks together?
Right.
But Alex is like, you know, or Liam lets it drop. Oh, did I let that slip? Did Ryan is going somewhere else to Texas and not to... with you, you know, like he likes to kind of be the fly in their ointment there. But I was a little frustrated with Alex's response to him. Yeah, he didn't tell her that this was happening yet, but his reasoning was pretty solid, and I actually liked the moment where he tells her what's up,
basically.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I 100% agree with you. I got really annoyed in that moment because I felt like Alex, for some reason, was representing all womanhood. And it was a really annoying scene with the fact that Alex was coming off as super selfish. And I was already pre-annoyed because when they had that little flashback when they were in the hall, I thought that Alex kind of looked... super desperately into Ryan, which I love. But if we remember how slow the timeline is moving in each, both the present and the past, it's only a few days. So like for her to be so overdue so fast and then right back into Ryan, which we knew she was never over to begin with, so who cares?
Yeah,
but that already bugged me. And then she is, you know, we obviously have that flashback where she's getting pissed about what you just said and being really selfish. And it was a conversation which was really funny, and that's why I said the womanhood thing, where I feel like Ryan was being all guys, where like he wasn't trying to be annoying, he wasn't trying to lie to her, he was actually trying to save the relationship and say, hey, this has nothing to do with you. He didn't even get to say, hey, I don't trust Liam, so I'm not going with him anymore.
Right, exactly. And he really like calls her out about making it all about herself instead of about them. And that's generally what he was trying to do, was try to make it look, it's pretty reasonable. I mean, they're pretend people, so like there's gotta be drama, I guess. But it's reasonable for him to be like, look, we're going away together. I was going to tell you, but I didn't tell you yet. I guess I can sort of understand her being upset about that. All he's done is lie to her, all this kind of stuff. But you guys are going to give it a real go. She was all sweet up on him 2 weeks.
I know.
With no laws, no rules, no clothes.
Right.
It was like probably the next thing she should have said. But
how sweet are they on each other if she's not even willing to, like, she's like, that's across the country. So if you're really into each other and you know how easily and quickly your jobs and lives change, you're not willing to put in the effort for someone that you keep losing and getting back and losing and getting back. Like, that wasn't even a thought in her mind.
Exactly.
And I think that hurt him.
Yeah, well, of course it did. And then the thing that she completely blows over is that he drops "I love you" on her, and she was just like, "You're going to find a way to complicate this." I'm like, hey, that was... Look, it would have been a little cheesy had she been like, "Wait, you love me?" Or something like that. But she didn't acknowledge it at all.
Not at
and
all.
I thought, like, come on, the guy's really trying here. It means that he values the relationship in a very real way rather than just like, well, if this doesn't work out, whatever. But he's like, well, let's really give this a go.
Yeah.
And I don't want to tell you yet because you keep overreacting. And he calls her out now. I love that. I like that he told her that she's being selfish.
And it makes her look like she didn't value it as much.
Yeah.
Like it was convenient for her.
You're supposed to tell me the truth all the time. And it's like, yeah, but every time I tell you the truth, you freak out. So,
yeah, right.
I mean, I guess, I have lied to you a bunch. So that's fine or whatever. But it also made me think back to the first episode, the pilot. When they hook up, right? And then she just kind of, exactly. And then she kind of like, you're never going to get this or whatever anyway. And she treats it like this completely casual thing. And now that she's like treating it so seriously, he's like, well, I'm taking it seriously too. Like, shouldn't that be a good thing? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly about how that went down. So,
yeah, that was, I mean, it has to happen. It's been happening all season long. Obviously, it's worth watching. We keep watching the show.
And we see at the end that he buys her flowers and he's trying to rekindle that 2-week vacation that maybe they could finally go on.
Maybe. I hope they go on it. But, I mean, obviously, they both lived, so they're going to be around for next season.
It's all good. Everyone's healthy.
Yeah, I know.
Well, out of them, too.
Yeah, out of them, too. I also like seeing the two of them together. We can talk about Liam, I guess, because we should. It's the biggest part of the episode, or one of the biggest parts of the episode. But them taking him down together, I thought that was kind of nice. I think they're both excellent shots, by the way.
Yeah. She pulled that one out, and I was like, whoa.
They work for the FBI, I guess, so they should be pretty good shots. But...
And I think it said a lot that Ryan kind of solidified. Like, she shot him in the head. You get shot in the head, you're done.
It was kind of over at that point. So,
right.
And he shoots him again
for
after
Ryan
that.
Twice.
But I guess it's like boom, boom. It's just we saw it in slow motion, so it was like a bang, bang sort of
right,
play,
but still, Ryan put the double nails in the coffin because I think that was something where he was just like, I'm over this, I'm done. Like, you've messed with my career and my life way too much, and I've been loyal to you because of the FBI and because that is what my job is, and I'm honoring this position. So I kind of liked that.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, go get him, Ryan.
I mean, I guess you wouldn't have seen that he shot in the head. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he would not get up after that shot.
Right.
But, like I said, it was like a real fast sort of thing, and they played it in slow-mo. It was cool to see them, like, work together. It was really interesting to hear all of, like, Liam's reasoning for why he was doing what he's doing. Basically, like, the FBI is so corrupt. They've made me corrupt. I need to take down the head of the snake, or, that kind of thing. And, like, all this sort of, like, historical stuff that, like, they tried to blackmail Martin Luther King to shoot himself.
Yes.
That was an interesting writing choice, but we'll move right past that.
No, but I agree with you. Like, that he made... he was sprawling off all these things.
It paints him as like one of those sort of like, look, I think I'm doing the right thing by doing this. And they did make him cover up a lot of things.
But a lot of those things he shot himself in the foot with. Do you agree?
Right. Well, he did, but he was like, well, I've only done it because that's what they've made me do. So now I had to do that to be part of it, and I need to take it down or something like that, which... Obviously, he's not a sane person, so none of this makes sense.
No, because he's crazy.
Even the thing he says about Martin Luther King and all these other conspiracies or whatever,
exactly.
like, none of it makes sense, but at least I really like that we've had him as a character going the whole season after them and manipulating everybody. It's great to know the reason why, which it makes a lot of sense for him. I even like the very sort of like meta moment where he's like, and I kept failing and they just kept promoting me somehow, which I knew you liked.
Yes, because you're calling attention to what we've been, as the audience, seeing and going, why? all season long. And it is funny because I feel like there are people out there in whatever position in life where if you get a job or you have a position and you keep getting not rewarded, but you keep being told to do something, like he kept, okay, you have to cover this up. So then you start taking, some people do exist like this, where you start taking it upon yourself and you go, oh, that's okay. Okay, now I have the authority to do it whenever.
Right.
But it's like the company's playing God, and then you think you have the right to play God, where nobody has that right, but like you think that you do because, oh, you're just told to cover it up anyway. So if this is happening, oh well.
Right.
But that's scary. That's like a really bad spiral.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, as a character, I guess, I mean, obviously it happened for the show, but like at any point he could have decided not to do any of those things, not to cover up for people, or to report someone. I mean,
Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. Like they can do that. I mean, Ryan was reporting the wrong person.
Right.
But at least he was trying to do the right thing. And then when he is put to the test by Liam, he's like, no, I'm not going to go with you. I don't like all this sort of dirty stuff and cover up. Even though he somewhat benefited from it a little bit. But at least he's convicted enough not to do it. But I think that was really good to see that, like, all the reasons he's doing this. Hard to see him like punch Miranda in the face.
I know.
Knocked her out in the car. Like, that was pretty brutal.
I was so excited for her to get that cell phone and turn it on.
Yeah, I mean, and then,
but again, I like the way it played out.
Yeah, and
I love this episode so much. Okay. It is definitely my favorite episode of the season. And we have so much to talk about. I just feel like it's, so
totally.
exciting. I love the montage of Liam and finding out how he
in the beginning
placed all the
cameras.
Surveillance.
We see him setting up all the nats there. That was really cool. And then him like watching like all these videos back of them having all these personal moments. I thought, like, what is he doing with these videos? I don't know.
Yeah, but it was well done, really well done. So kudos to the writers of this show.
Yeah,
for that.
And also the moment I almost forgot to talk about this, but like, so it's, I mean, he points it out, Liam, during the scene where Ryan's like, take the shot. Obviously, it's a direct mirror of what happened to her dad. Nice to call that back, button up the end of the season there. But this time, obviously, she does the right thing instead of shooting Ryan, which I thought, like, for a minute there, like, will she shoot Ryan?
No, you mean on purpose?
Well, because like basically that's what Ryan was asking her to do. Go ahead and take the shot, or take the shot at. You've seen that before, where it's like, shoot me and then shoot him, that kind of thing. Like wound him in the leg and then shoot, Liam.
Interesting.
But I thought, like, wow, would she do that, or possibly try to shoot Ryan in the shoulder and then like get them both somehow.
Interesting. I didn't even think of that. No. But I'm glad she waited instead of taking a shot and hitting Ryan by accident.
Right. Well, I thought I guess I'm like, wow, is he asking her to do that? Would she do that? Do you think that she would if it came down to it?
No.
She cares too much about it?
I don't think she'd be able to.
I mean, I would kind of like to see her do it.
Why?
Just because, like, I don't know, she's still taking down the bad guy. I mean, she's not killing Ryan. She's just trying to, like, injure him.
I do think that there's no way she would have let Liam leave.
That's one of those things, I don't know if it's like a real thing. I'm not an FBI agent, but, like, shoot the hostage. It's, like, one of the things that, like, because it takes his power away from him. So I thought,
I've never heard of that.
No,
that's pretty cool. It's an interesting thought. No, I've never.
Okay.
No.
Sure.
Not to negate you.
Sure. I mean, you don't have to see things my way. It's fine.
Right.
That's how this relationship is
Well,
going.
it didn't happen here, so.
Okay. I got you. Just shoot me down there. That's fine. So happy to see Miranda live.
Yes,
so
and that she wasn't behind any of it.
Right, which we said wouldn't make any sense.
No.
But I thought she was dead. I mean, he did shoot her twice.
And left her, and then dragged her around.
Yeah, and then she just throws her in the back of his car.
Miranda is a beast, man.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, because I remember we were like, oh, that's the end of that character, because it looked like he shot her again, but I guess maybe I just saw it too quickly, and like, thank God she's not dead.
Which it brings me to talk about her son. We still don't know if he lived or died. I think he's dead.
Yeah, they said he was in
point.
Hospital, but
last time, or like a few episodes ago, but
yeah,
I think he's the only one that's kind of like a casualty that's unknown.
Yeah, they could bring him back.
Because I think a lot of closure was brought with this. As like I said again, they mentioned like Natalie, Drew, now Simon. Should we just go to Simon?
Yeah,
let's just talk about Simon. I am so excited. I was right again. I hate it. I'm sorry. I know we have a lot of viewers out there that are really upset that Simon's gone.
It's
but
tough.
He did it.
Yeah.
In a noble way.
Yeah, self-sacrificial.
And it made a lot of sense to me as a character he was to kind of be done with him for the season. Sorry about that. I know some YouTubers out there will call you out in a little bit.
Yeah.
I know that's upsetting, but you guys, I was right with my prediction again. I'm kind of excited about that.
You were correct. Save one pat on your back for us.
Yep,
but,
okay.
Well, since you mentioned that, Josh Safran is the showrunner. And he had said that at any point, it was almost anyone that they just could have been in the car to make the sacrifice, except for Alex, except for Ryan. They said they can't do that. But but they kept coming back to somehow that it had to be Simon, especially with his story arc, the whole season. And they're like, well, it could have been Raina, or it could have been gosh, who was the other? I forget who else they said, but basically anyone. Caleb, it could have been Caleb, because remember we sort of debated whether or not he would do something like that.
Right.
Could have been Shelby, but they just kept coming back to somehow that it makes the most sense.
That's what I think.
Simon. Yeah, and I fully agree, but I kind of like that they put it on the table for almost anyone to make that sacrifice. And it really, and he also said that it was really tough to lose Tate, the actor who plays Simon, because he's such a great actor.
He's so great.
But, his sort of because they set it up within the episode even that it was going to be him. Because at some point he's like, well, I feel guilty about this and that and the other. So it just seemed to be pointing even more towards him as if it already didn't make a lot of sense. But I thought oh, he's going to do it because there's no way that he's going to let this. But yeah, he did kind of build it, and he can't have someone else die on his dirty work. He also could have said no, and he would have died then. But tough to see him go.
I know. But I like the way they did it.
Yeah.
With him driving off into the water. It's just smart. It made sense, so.
Yeah, it was very heroic. Now, Shelby and Caleb have their last little bit of drama.
Yeah. There's Shelby and Caleb, and then the whole Haas is separately from that.
Oh, yeah.
A lot to talk about there.
Yeah, well, so when Shelby throws away that piece of the plane, it seems like she's just finally done with her parents and all that stuff. But shoot, there was something that I thought about Shelby. Which, by the way, there's just a weird moment when they find the bomb, Liam's dead, and Simon's like, I can do this or that to the bomb, and she's just like, you built it, Dr. Strange, or something like that. And I thought,
a weird line timing wise.
Well, just I thought maybe it's not antagonize the guy. I'm not trying to figure out. Everybody's about to die.
It was.
Let's just leave the sarcasm at home for this moment.
Right. It would have been Caleb usually.
Yeah, it would have been him.
Didn't
but
come
even
out
him,
with that.
he's like, look, no, this is kind of a serious moment. It's a nuke. Let's maybe leave the sarcasm at home.
Yeah, she's kind of flipping the script on Caleb.
Yeah.
With the whole parents thing and kind of telling on him and what he was doing with his stomachs. And her and Iris are just out to get him.
Oh, yeah, we barely saw Iris in this episode, but she was there. But it makes a lot of sense for Shelby to be sort of coming after him there. But there was the moment where they infiltrate the Quantico, and it's another graduation, and I like the way they sort of matched up their graduation against the current one.
Me too.
But as he's working really fast there and kind of back on the team, she's looking at him. He's like, "What?" She's like, "Oh, I just kind of watching you work." I'm like, "It's not over.
It was kind of cute.
It can still happen.
Yeah.
Still a little distracted in a very important moment.
Yeah.
But, watch.
It was sweet, and it did lead to what's going to go forward with them in the future. Hopefully, Caleb will stop his addiction.
Yeah, well, it seemed like the moment when he sort of sees Alex talking to his mom at the end there, he's kind of cleaned up. And I guess some time has passed, too, so maybe he has kind of cleaned up his act a little bit.
Hopefully.
By the way, also Will lives. Really cool.
I know.
He's like, I thought he was just gone.
No, that's great.
Yeah, great that he's still.
And we'll definitely answer a lot of questions there. How about, first of all, Liam calls out Clayton Haas, who everyone is questioning if he's still alive from the bombing. But I think he's dead, because I think it's
he might still be alive. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so it's funny because if Liam is calling him out for saying that Clayton Haas is the one that used to give him the orders to cover things up.
Right.
And now Clayton has been dead all this time because of a bomb that Liam placed. It's kind of like, should Liam have just stopped right there? Or, you know, he kept going. Then we find out, which I loved this part, about Alex coming back at the end at the funeral and calling out Mommy Haas.
Claire Haas, yeah.
Yep. And saying, I know you were behind this. I know you had something to do with Liam and the blood pressure pills. Because genius. That's what I think we've been waiting for the writing to do, to come back around this whole season and kind of give us those answers and be like, oh, you are paying attention. You are, you know, as much as we're paying attention, you're giving us what we want. So that's why I like this episode so much.
Yeah, but, no, I thought that part was great. Obviously, we see that she's now become the VP, and now she's going to be getting for the White House.
And so that's huge storyline going into next season. That's not over.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it gives them like
a lot
in some ways like a proper sort of antagonist for the next season.
Yes.
To sort of try to take down. I don't know. Like I thought it was really ballsy of Alex to be just like right in her face with it. Like this, and that. I thought it was just like a cool scene for the two of them to sort of be going toe to toe.
But then they back out, the camera backs out, and it's Caleb standing right there.
Right. Well, because she basically, she's like, you know, I don't have a wire, but then she probably saw Caleb come up and then to reveal who his mom really is, which, I mean, I guess Caleb knows that his mom is devious, but maybe he didn't think that she was that kind of devious.
Right.
Yeah. And she's obviously been involved with this, but I still, like, I don't know. It's like, how involved was she with Liam? I guess I couldn't quite figure that out. If it was directly involved or sort of used him because she knows that he's dirty.
I think the whole point is that she knew something was going on.
Yeah.
So that's completely illegal right there. And the fact that you don't, like, that you totally have a hand basically in the terrorist attacks.
Right, or that at the very least that she knows something and she's using it like to her advantage somehow to basically to win the election, which is what Alex
all wrong
of.
and wrong. So that's going to be a great storyline going forward, to be honest. So I'm really pumped about that.
Yeah, totally. It also reminds me of something like, well, be careful going up against the vice president because if you watch House Cards, that can be a dangerous situation. So
totally
maybe you just want to back
dangerous
up.
path.
This is not that show, and I won't spoil it for you if you watch House Cards, or if you're like way behind on House Cards like I am. But yeah, that was cool to see. Like I thought like great setup for the next coming season, which was great. We want to read some of those YouTube comments.
Yeah, let's get into those.
Yeah, we have a lot of people getting in there being active. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, for sure. We love you guys writing to us on YouTube. And I know even though we don't have a show next week, you know, we will be back with the next season. And there's some news for that later. But so feel free to write and let us know in your comments on this video and what you think of this episode and the show as a whole. But for last week's, we have R. Hernandez 720, which a lot of really great feedback from them. And I know you're one of the people that didn't want me to predict Simon. I'm sorry. And that was really funny that they even called me out. So thank you for that. And I know the scene, so they said this, the scene between Alex and Simon broke my heart. I'm so happy that I was right and Simon was not involved. So obviously they like Simon a lot. And that Drew wasn't really helping. And definitely they were convinced that Mama Haas was involved halfway through the episode of last week. Yeah. So good eye on that as well. And then, like I said, back with the Simon prediction. Sorry about that. You'll have to pick a new favorite. And then Nana Now said, or Nao, sorry, it's Nao, said that they mentioned how Alex's mother, there was a lot of like back and forth in this comment about how there needs to be some sort of closure between Alex and Liam, which I do think we got.
It's close.
And
He's
even
dead.
called it out how they mentioned how Alex's mother basically turned on Alex with the whole terrorist thing. And it's funny because Caleb brought that up at the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Which I loved that too. I loved how they brought back, 2 weeks later, and now in 2 months later, whatever, how long it was, in Northern California. So I feel like we got to see that with Alex and the redemption kind of stuff. And then just a big thank you to Whatever and Michelle Fitzgerald, because they explained the whole Ryan not telling Alex thing and why that was such a big deal, because obviously it was more than an hour away. So good catch on that one. And yeah, just a lot of really awesome comments. So you guys keep them coming. We'll watch and we comment back. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, totally. This was a very neatly wrapped up episode.
I know. That's why I'm so happy about it. Usually I'm like, what are we gonna how do you even start breaking this down? But I'm so excited about the way that this went down.
It's wrapped up tightly like the Henleys that they threw in the garbage there. No, they're really tight Henleys. They wear them every episode, and they finally got rid of them. No,
that was cute though. Alex saved her shirt.
Did she? I didn't see that.
Yeah, she tucked it into her jacket. She was like, do we have to give these? Do they really need these? She's like, I've been wearing them all season, or all 6 months. Can we talk about, like I said, in the future, how they're in Oakland, California, and
news.
The CIA comes? No, right before we get to that.
Okay, sorry.
Well, this is news. I don't know if anyone knows, but the gentleman who plays
AfterBuzz TV.
Well, because it's not really part of that news.
It's part of the news.
Thank you, Zach. The guy who played Matthew Keys is from Revenge. Does anyone watch Revenge? If you're an ABC fan, you watched Revenge.
The guy in the car.
So I love when some characters replay in show after show. And yeah, he was in the car. He's basically the CIA guy. I should have looked. I didn't get to look him up before we came in here. But I know someone's going to let me know what his real name is, and I think he's an incredible actor. And I'm excited. If he's in season 2 of Quantico, this is gonna be awesome, because he's so evil and he's so good at playing the I'm really this guy, but I'm really this guy. I don't know. It's pretty cool. And then other news that we have, you mentioned the creator, Josh Safran. He presented a spoiler even before the finale and said that there will be no Quantico scenes in season 2, which obviously they've graduated, and I could see them trying to throw in some flashbacks still here and there, but I guess not. They might not even be doing that.
Yeah, I guess that means they will not flash back to Quantico, but they can still do this sort of dual storyline, which I think
which is very true.
I think there's something I read that said that they still will do that.
Which is very cool,
we'll see,
because that's what makes Quantico
Yeah.
Quantico. You know, if it was all in real time, it wouldn't be the same show.
Right.
And then also that obviously season 2, they're saying that it actually might turn around much faster than you would think for such a high action, high paced show.
Right.
That maybe by fall or summer of 2017. So even though they're relocating to New York, and that's going to be a huge overhaul for the production, it's going to be a quicker turnaround than you would think. So you guys, be excited about that.
Yeah, very excited.
It's going to come back real quick.
Yeah, I was really expecting a rim shot of my Henley joke there, Zach. I'm disappointed, man.
Looking for the sound bite. Sound. What are they called? What are they called? What are they called? What are they called?
I don't know.
That's from something. Anyway, so that's all the news for right now.
Well, then let's jump on into our final predictions.
Yay! Season 1 prediction and
your AfterBuzz
Season
TV
2 predictions.
yes.
predictions.
Based on, we just said it, we saw Alex get in a car. She was on her nice little run there. She's presented with the option to join the CIA. What do you predict we will see for next season based on that, or anything you want to talk about?
I think she hands down takes the offer. I'm sure it causes some kind of rift with her and Ryan. And where was he calling her from? I wanted her to pick up the phone and be like, Ryan, this is what's happening right now. What should I do?
Yeah.
There's no way she would have done that.
Probably not. I also probably wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah. Why? Because the CIA guy said so?
Well, it's a secret organization.
Yes, I know.
So saying to whoever you're talking on the phone there, like, should I join the CIA
it's a
or
TV
not?
show.
Yeah, like they can't do that. It's like a covert thing. Those
Right.
people are supposed to be undercover of some kind.
But that's pretty cool. And I think she definitely goes with the CIA, and a whole other event happens. The only thing that you don't know is, like, obviously she's going to be after Mommy Haas.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool that she's going to be the evil villain. But is there going to be another secret person behind the scenes and another whole terrorist attack or some other huge thing arc that we're following all season?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think she definitely joins the CIA. I mean, what else are we gonna watch her run around all season
through Oakland, California?
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, I get that. I have the same sort of thing that she'll be after Mama Haas there. But I also think that maybe there won't be a terrorist to sort of mirror the season, because it feels like it would just be sort of the same thing, but it could be just a season-long sort of pursuit of her and trying to trap her, because it's going to be very hard to do.
Yeah.
So I see that happening. Also, my wish would be for less Alex Ryan drama. We already had a whole season of that. Could we take a whole season of them sort of will they, won't they again? But maybe they'll just leave it as in, like, they're not for now, and then revisit it at some point, like late in the season. I could see that, rather than having them go back and forth.
Right.
Or maybe it'll be a season of them together, and then they'll be in bliss or something, and she'll make him trim that beard. Who knows?
Who knows? I really liked Quantico when they went back in the past, but I'm kind of... This episode, someone even commented, I meant to refer to that. Actually, I think it was R. Hernandez 720 who even mentioned the fact that, like, Alex wasn't herself so much because of what Liam did to her and because of her past through these future episodes. And then I feel like this last episode, she became herself again.
Yeah, that's
she kind of was like, I won. I knew that I wasn't crazy.
Very confident,
Very confident again. And you saw that in the acting. And I actually like that. So I kind of hope that that's going to go forward. And then, of course, I hope to see Caleb. I need him to cut his hair, though.
You need him to cut his hair? Yeah. You're not a fan of the locks?
But I'm interested to see what happens with him and Shelby, too. And for some reason, I think we're going to see Iris again.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
She's kind of a existential character that we haven't really...
Yeah, I'm not sure if she's considered a regular or not, or if she's considered a guest. But I think all the regulars will be back. It's not confirmed whether CIA man, don't know his real name, will be there, but it would make a lot of sense that if he was there, because he's the one who propositions her to join the CIA. Anyway, so it seems like it would make a lot of sense for him to be back. But all of our regulars will be back, and more drama and more fun Quantico stuff.
It's Henry Czerny, Czerny.
Oh yeah, I know who that is.
I'm butchering his last name.
Yeah.
But he's awesome. Cool. Oh my gosh. So cheers.
Cheers.
Are we actually closing out our last episode, season, after show of Quantico season? Thanks, Zach.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, cheers to you.
Yes, and cheers to you guys for watching all season. Thanks so much for joining us and for all of your comments, good and bad, throughout the season. Where can they find you? Okay, you guys, thank you so much for hanging with us. The second half of Quantico Season 1. We'll be back in Season 2. So excited. Until then, keep following me at Andy Fasano on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, all of the things. And I'm doing a Mets 360 show now and a boxing after show. And then Billions starts in January. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Yeah, you can follow me at Isaac Johnson, Twitter, all these things. I've said it so many times. Instagram, the Isaac Johnson. See my wonderful photos if you care to. I don't know what I'm doing next as far as AfterBuzz, but I'm sure it'll be something soon. Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. And other things. Thanks, Isaac. Yeah, thanks so much. See you next year. Bye, guys. Bye. From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV. Buzz you later. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.